Welcome to the Beer Run, part of the BSnBEER family, the only Saints podcast with a two-drink minimum and takes as bad as waiting for the actual training camp to start after the
That's a
minicamp,
joke.
after the OTAs, after
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes.
I remember
Toes,
this time.
Addy.
Hey, I just
it's training camp for us too, guys. With me, as always, is Dale. Little Dice, how you doing, brother?
all good. Yeah, we're in training camp mode here. But yeah, it's been a while since we did a podcast.
Been a minute.
But yeah, I got the drop. I got the drop in though. I remember. So,
Hey, you know what? I forgot that we had a drop there, so you're a step ahead of me.
That's right, man. Well, we're talking minicamp, mandatory minicamp, baby, because everybody showed up. So we're gonna be discussing what's been going on with minicamp. We're also going to talk about the positive and negative things that are happening out there, and the hopes and dreams going into training camp.
Yeah, we're gonna keep up our long-running tradition of me getting too excited and Dale being too much of a bummer.
Yeah. I'm not getting caught up again like last year. We can possibly get injured that's much again, right? It can't happen.
I've said it 2 years in a row. I'm gonna be right eventually. Someday I'm gonna be right.
So yeah, I'm not getting caught up in that mess this year.
That's fair.
I'll be negative, so that way, if it happens, I've already prepared myself and we're good. So
I'm already ready. I'm already clearing my schedule for the parade. Like, I'm ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm there, man. I'm ready to get hurt again. Let's do this.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, we got 4 downs. We're gonna be coming to you. So referees, get out there, spot the ball. Let's get this thing started.
First down, Saints.
All right. As usual, Craig, on first down, we talk about drinks. So what you drinking?
Man. All right. So I'm in South Louisiana, and I had the fun chance to do yard work in the middle of the day today. So my goodness, I'm drinking a nice light beer. They describe it as a Gulf Coast cerveza. It's a Barracuda. It's from Abita, and it is just delightful in the heat. I mean, you need to light something when it's 95 degrees with a heat index of triple digits, and you're out there down. Oh man, I couldn't imagine going to a mini camp right now. Shoot, maybe retirement suits me. So it tastes good. It looks good. It's a local beer. How's it sound? Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, that's a good sounding beer.
Gotcha. All right. Well, today I have once again got another brew from Lost 40 Brewing Company.
Okay.
The Day Drinker. It's been pretty delightful, and yeah, that's what we're rolling with today. So, yeah, nice and foamy. Good.
As a day drinker myself, I support anything called day drinker.
Yeah. Yeah, nice little blonde ale here, man. So good stuff, man. So
is it dying hot up in Arkansas right now too?
No. The past couple of days, it's been like mid 70s, low 80s. Like, it's been pretty legit. I got out there yesterday and I did some yard work because it was so nice. I bought a towel
Saturday.
out there. Yeah.
This Saturday, we're trying to do a crawfish boil in my place. We're a little late in the season for it, but if they had a crawfish, I'm gonna do crab and shrimp. I don't give a shit. I'm boiling something on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be 99 degrees and raining at the same time.
Ooh,
that's just wonderful. I'm from Los Angeles, guys. This is
whew. Okay, get these pop-up tents ready.
My goodness.
Yeah, definitely get that ready, man. At least you can cover up the boilers there,
just make the food. The rest of us can get one. Who cares?
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Let's get on to the next down.
Second down.
All right, and in second down, we're talking mini camp. The mini camp attendance there, Craig.
Real good.
So far, I mean, listen, everything I've seen, everybody was there. Everybody showed up. 100% participation. Nobody's holding out for a contract or anything like that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, I love it.
It's
I
just
absolutely
it's one
love
of
it.
it's just one of it's like there's all these teams that are like, oh well, Stephon Diggs didn't show up today, or oh this guy's gonna hold
Yeah,
out, or this guy's gonna hold in, he's gonna show up so he doesn't get fined, but he's not gonna do nothing. Like
right.
it's nice to just have a hey, everybody was there, everybody seems happy, it's cool. Like I don't know how they're happy because I know exactly how hot the hell it is outside right now, so I don't know how everyone was in a good mood, but
Hey,
and everybody showed up. It seemed like everybody had a really positive experience, even though the offense stunk it up, which is, our defense is good. So I'm not going to take too much out of that one practice doing that. But, Carr had good things to say about the guys. Kamara was, oh man, Kamara looks crispy. He's
yeah,
quick out there.
yeah, he
Ooh.
did. He did. He did. Derek Carr mentioned um, after practice during this media availability that some of the things Kamara was out there doing was insane.
Hmm.
So he loves that route run. So,
Yeah, there's a good quote of Carr when he was talking to Jake Hayner. He throws a ball to Kamara who's running this route. So I think it's a choice route over the middle, and he turns to Jake and he goes, "Bro, that's not normal.
mhm.
Like, he's a special talent, and maybe we actually use him as a special talent and not just run between the tackles again." 2
Yep.
years we've been trying to beat the brakes off of that guy, and I hope he's got some tread on those tires. He looks good right now, but it's June.
Yep. And I was just kind of scrolling through some of the pictures there provided by Saints Wire. So shout out to those guys for getting out there and getting the pictures and everything.
Yeah,
Um,
Sans Wire had a good write up today. If you guys have time, check them out.
yeah, real quick, Craig, what do you think about the helmet condoms being back?
I hate them, but I'm an offensive lineman who derives joy from hurting people. Um, I mean, I
Not
get it.
not pro helmet
They're a
condoms?
safety thing. I get it. It's a safety thing. It's fine. We don't want anybody to get to catch some clap on the helmet. You know, uh, good for them being
Right.
proactive with their safety.
Gotta protect your helmet, baby.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the minicamp here. Rashid Shaheed has a groin injury,
Yeah,
and
they
so
said
he
it's
did
just
not participate.
precautionary though. Like
Okay.
it sounds like it's not going to be a big deal. Of course, this is the Saints, so it could be a not a big deal, and he won't play for 10 weeks.
I'm
Uh,
telling you.
yeah, I mean, when you're right, man. It is, and those some of those injuries that just tend to just linger sometimes. So I'm not going to freak out about it right now because no one else is. They said he probably if it was a game he could have gone, but it was just a precautionary sit him out for the week kind of thing. He said he was going to be a full go for actual training camp. I'm not sure when that starts, so who knows if that means anything. So I'm not freaking out about it, but if that's the only thing we're hearing about, the only other guy I could think of that I recognize the name of giving a damn about was Ruiz. Didn't do much today. I don't think Ruiz practiced at
Yes,
all.
no Cesar Ruiz.
I don't like that. That was of all the awesome good news,
Hmm.
including Taysom Hill up on the screen right there. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
Hmm.
Ruiz not being able to do anything was the big negative for me.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with him being an offensive lineman and me being desperate to talk about fat guys. But if it
Well,
was about that, still a bummer.
you can't really talk fat guys until they actually start hitting in camp,
Yeah, they
right?
start
So
hitting each other. It's just
don't
kind
know
of
anything on the line yet.
kind of important, and that's going to be an issue with that. Is it's going to hamper a lot of our enthusiasm. Is that some of the big questions for this team right now are the D line and the O line,
Yeah.
and we ain't going to know a damn thing about them until probably preseason.
Yeah, really, because that's when they really get after it when you're hitting another team. So,
Which is nice that we have the
Yes.
two joint practices, joint
Yeah.
practice weeks.
Hmm.
I don't think we've ever done it with two different teams in the same preseason. That's interesting.
Well, it's planned right now. That could change,
Mm,
um, especially when when the Texans come up because we play them in preseason and during the regular season.
mm.
So I could see that kind of going away. Uh,
Yeah, they could reschedule that. They could get that out of there. I mean, who knows with weather down here? There could be some kind of catastrophic
that's
weather
true too.
event.
Yeah,
There
that's
could
true
be a
too.
hurricane. There could be an unspecified viral lab leak across the world that shuts down everything. I mean, we have no
Hmm.
idea really what affects what happens.
Hmm.
It's a butterfly effect, Butterfly flaps its wings in Peking, and Central Park gets rain instead of sunshine. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, yeah,
So it's
right.
And hey, nerds out there, that's a Jurassic Park quote. Thank you very much.
The other big news coming out of today's minicamp, Mike Thomas, he made a pretty nice play there, but I want to throw this in. It was off to the side. Okay. He was working with Carr on fade routes while everybody else was working on special teams. Great. I'm glad they're working. At least he's out there doing something. But he apparently had a great one-handed catch working on those fade routes in the end zone. So nice to see.
I'm happy about it. I'm happy that he's out there at all. Honestly, if he had waited until actual training camp, I don't think anyone would have blamed him with all the stuff he's coming off of. And then you got guys like Traquan Smith who are all of a sudden looking at if they have a roster spot and had a couple big drops in team today. So the wide receiver thing is going to be really interesting. I mean, a lot of it hinges, of course, on health with Michael Thomas coming back and now Shaheed banged up, but it's really interesting. There's a lot of guys that could make a difference. You talk about that rookie Perry, and you got some guys that should be stars, and it's going to be really, really kind of fun to see how that develops.
Yeah, with the young guys, you can't count them out, too early because Marcus Colston sucked in early minicamp. Like he
I don't know how he didn't get cut before he started coming around.
Right, exactly. I listened to him revisit all that kind of stuff. He was expecting to get cut, and he just wasn't doing well. And all of a sudden, in training camp, the light clicked on, and hey, he became a good player. So,
and that's not going to be the last or the first time that anyone's compared Perry to Colston either. Apparently, they got a lot. They got a lot in common. Their frame, build, their coaching. They have the same offensive coordinator.
Right.
So I mean, there's ample reason to believe he could turn it around. But I don't know.
Hey,
I want those big three
crossed.
healthy. If those big three are healthy, the fourth receiver is very. Is he talking about fourth receiver? I think this is what they were saying over on the Underhill's show, is that if your top three are healthy, then how often you're going to have another two receivers on the field? You're going to have Juwan Johnson out there, even in passing situations. He's a tight end, but he's a receiver. Then you're going to have a Taysom Hill in the game. You're going to have probably a Kamara in the game. I mean, how often do you need a fourth, fifth wide receiver? Honestly.
Well, I mean, hey, with us, we're definitely going to need them for depth. We need depth.
Because none of our three are all going to play the same game together.
Need depth, Craig.
Yeah, we need depth. The linebacker depth and the O-line depth are still keeping me awake at night.
So, speaking of depth at wide receiver, the Saints worked out Lynn Bolton Jr. and Kiki QT.
Okay, so you know a little bit about one of these guys. Can you tell me about it? Because these are not names that I'm familiar with.
Well, Kiki QT is a fantasy legend. Okay.
And that's why I don't know who he is.
He's a guy that everybody's been wanting to work out for years now, and it just hasn't. And so he's going to have another shot now.
So he's someone else's Traquan Smith. Awesome.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's another Traquan Smith. Wonderful. So Lynn Bolton Jr. This was a gadget guy at Kentucky. He pretty much did it all out there, and the Raiders drafted him pretty high, and then they traded him before preseason started. It was something weird. Okay, very, very weird. All right.
Wait. The Raiders did something weird and stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
No, come on.
That's so much
a stable and sane franchise. I can't imagine that.
So much of our season is saying the Raiders are dumb.
Our success hinges really big on if the Raiders are stupid or not.
Yeah, exactly. The Raiders are dumb. They don't know what they do with DA. We got DA. The Raiders are dumb. You don't know what to do with your quarterback. We got their quarterback. We're going to show you how to do it.
Oh, that's hilarious. But to be fair, they have been dumb for a while. So, I mean, there's reason to believe it. That's all I'm saying. That's funny.
Yep. Jonathan Abram. They cut him. Raiders are dumb. All right. This is how we're working now. Raiders better be dumb. Else we're gonna be some upset things.
Thank God it's the Raiders. If we were betting the house that the Patriots were being dumb, I think we'd all be a little trouble.
Yeah, exactly. The last bit of news I got out of training camp was Ted Ginn Jr. was helping out with the staff at practice. So maybe
Isn't
he turns into a coach pretty
well,
soon.
I'm
Who
thinking
knows?
isn't like prime like peak Ted Ginn is kind of what we hope Olave is this year. You know, like
Okay.
I'm thinking that that's a good comp of their skill sets. So that would be really really cool if Olave could develop that deep game that Ted Ginn was so good at for so long. You know, so
Ohio
I love it.
State.
I love bringing in former players.
Ohio State, man. Ohio
Mm,
State.
big Ohio State pipeline, man.
Yeah, yeah. You got to keep those pipelines ready and keep them nice. Who knows what Ted Ginn Jr. is going to end up doing in the future? But I mean, look, he knows a lot of the system and everything. So if you get another veteran guy out there to help talk to young guys, especially a guy like Olave, because of that Ohio State connection, is good. It's nothing but a
Hmm.
good thing. So.
Definitely, definitely. Did we touch on Taysom Hill at all? That he was taking quarterback reps and tight end reps and running routes and doing special teams.
Yeah, we will get to that in third
Okay,
down, and
I want to
so
make sure we
let's.
have that. I if I don't talk about Taysom Hill 1 week out of the year, I go crazy
Yeah,
because he's the best man. It's so exciting to watch him do football stuff.
yeah. Okay,
But
well,
I'll
let's.
wait. I'm a patient guy. I'll
We're
sit
we're
back.
we're gonna have the referees change the chains on the side here to a different down, and we'll get that going for you, Craig.
Third down for what?
All right, Craig, it's officially third down.
Okay, cool. I had a little false start penalty on me, 5 yards against the offense. Still third down.
Yeah,
Taysom Hill is all over the damn place, and I love it, and it's happy. Sorry, what's the segment even called that involves Taysom Hill? I'm excited about talking about Taysom Hill right now.
that's it. I mean, look, Taysom Hill's working all over the field.
Mm.
Um, he definitely threw a pass. Um, yeah, like what do you think? Um, a perfect kind of season looks like for Taysom Hill as far as averages, number of touches, that kind of thing.
The perfect season for Taysom Hill is some quarterback needy team trades us for Jameis Winston, and then Derek Carr gets hurt and Hayner's terrible. So Taysom Hill comes in as the savior in week 3, and we win the Super Bowl with him as starting quarterback. That's the perfect Taysom Hill season where he throws for 5,000 yards and rushes for 1,000 yards and is the unanimous NFL MVP on the way to a Super Bowl championship. That's the perfect season. Assuming none of that happens, I think you got to give him 10 touches a game. You know,
Okay. 10 touches
I
a
think
day.
you got to run the quarterback power. It's a cheat code. It works. It's so predictable. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He gets 5 yards anyway. Just run it. Run it in the goal line. Run it in first downs. I think you need to at least put the threat of him playing tight end out there. You know, let him run some routes. But honestly, you got to let him throw a couple passes because that the one time that he lines up for that QB power, he takes a step and he hits somebody. That little tiny second of hesitation, and all of a sudden that run gets that much more effective. We saw that last year. Was it Atlanta where
Mm,
he came in for his QB power and he hit Shaheed for
right.
like a 60 yarder, a little underthrown. It's part of the game, and I think I love it. I love that they're still letting him do that. Like I was really worried that Da was going to try to force a round peg into a square hole and make him a tight end. So you don't play quarterback anymore. You just do this, like they said they were going to do. And it's just such a waste because he's such a weapon. He's so valuable, and I'm really happy about seeing him kind of all over the place.
Is this a difference though? Because I don't remember ever hearing about this in practice. We just see it happens in the game.
Yeah, that I mean, because the talk last training camp was that he wasn't gonna do quarterback
Right.
stuff. That they were getting him out of it. Now
Right.
they're kind of I don't know embracing it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a different philosophy or if they're just not hiding it anymore. Maybe
Mm.
maybe they always did this, but they just didn't do it in front of the cameras and try to keep it in their back pocket for game day. But I love seeing it, and I hope that it means that it's a big part of the offense.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know about 10 touches though. Like
I'm bad
just
with numbers. I'm a
because
lineman. I
it's
gotta
just,
have
it's just
concussions.
because we've got so many other weapons. Like you brought in um Detroit running back
Williams.
Williams. Yes. I mean, you really brought him in for a lot of those goal line carries. So maybe Taysom doesn't need to have those goal line carries.
Yeah, and our running back that we drafted, he's a big guy too. He's also going to be useful in goal to go situations.
Oh, Miller. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, Miller, dude, you can't. there's not going to be a situation where you don't have oh, well, we got too many options, we got too many weapons.
Mhm.
I don't care. Whatever gets you in the end zone, we have them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if the question is, oh, this guy should get a touchdown as opposed to that guy, then that's a fantasy football thing, and I don't give a shit about that. I just care about us scoring points.
I care very much, Craig.
Some of us care very much. I am not one of those people. I just want the Saints to score. That I have a fantasy team. It's called the Saints. That's the team that I root for. I want them to win every week.
All right. Another little tidbit here with positive and negatives here coming out of camp. They're working Pete Werner a lot in the slot during the team drills there. So this is a difference because usually hearing about cornerbacks are going to play in the slot or maybe a safety.
Corner safeties. Yeah.
So now we're looking at a linebacker possibly covering the slot. And maybe it's just for them to be flexible and be able to change out players and different things like that. Maybe that's the reason why he's practicing it.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of that because they've already talked about Roby was getting a lot of reps at the slot and he's real comfortable with it. I think this is more of a situation of they don't want to get caught flat-footed if they don't have a chance to substitute and there's an extra wide receiver on the field. At least Warner's got good range. He is fast. If it's an emergency, he needs to roll out there and cover a guy. It's not fish out of water stuff. It's not like trying to watch who's that overrated ass linebacker that Atlanta just paid too much money to. Ellis. It's not like trying to watch Ellis in space. Yeah, because that guy's terrible at everything, and I hate him. At least he'll have some practice under his belt covering guys in that spot if he gets caught out there on an island. Because sometimes they'll put a guy in motion and they'll set up that with the design of to get him isolated on a linebacker. And if that's the linebacker you're trying to isolate, at least he can still cover. He is fast.
Yeah.
Yes, I will slander Ellis and anyone else who leaves the Saints for the Falcons forever.
Well,
Onimata sucks too.
They kind of deserve it. So you could win anywhere else. So yeah,
anywhere else.
Speaking of, I got my good 28-3 shirt on that I got made in Atlanta, and I wore it when I was out there and visiting the aquarium. The people loved it out there. It was a hit.
I don't believe you.
I mean, look, the guy stopped me like, man, you want that shirt here? Come on, man.
For those of you who can't see Dale, he's about 6'5", so like he's a scary dude.
Yeah,
so
sure.
No one approaches him like that at all. It's like, oh, hey, look at that scary guy over there. He's got the Saints shirt on. I'm gonna say nothing. That's why I'm so nice to him on the show.
Yeah, sure. Now, as you kind of touched on earlier, the offense struggled today in practice. This is definitely one of the negatives, Craig, and I'm very worried about this. Okay, Carr went 1 of 4 in team drills today. It was a lot of drops.
2 drops.
So yeah, I'm very concerned about that, Craig.
Yeah, so the 2 drops by Traquan Smith, and the 4th one he missed. He threw it at the guy's feet. So it's actually kind of nice to have a little reminder that Derek Carr is not a savior. He's not here to fix the franchise. He's just here to be better than what we had last year. So if everybody tunes in and they want to see Derek Carr be perfect and throw for 5,000 yards and win MVP and be a Pro Bowler, he probably isn't going to do any of that. But he doesn't have to. He just has to be better than Andy Dalton. And for God's sake, if he's somehow not better than Andy Dalton, then I'm done watching football. I can't do it again. So he doesn't have to be a savior. Don't expect him to be.
Well, I mean, you're hoping that the Raiders are stupid here, and
well, all right, full stop. The Raiders are stupid. I'm just hoping that they are stupid about this as well, because they've been stupid about lots of other stuff, but I did also for this one.
Yeah, that remember that tweet I sent out yesterday with from Warren Sharp. He talked about the Raiders kind of giving up on Derek Carr last year. This was like last year when he sent this stuff. So he just talked about how they were so wrong. Like Derek Carr wasn't the problem. The problem was them giving up those leads like that. So
it's people. And to be fair, this is going to ruffle some feathers. We give Matt Ryan a lot of shit for blowing leads, but Matt Ryan didn't play defense either.
Yeah.
So to blow a lead, it's the whole team collapse. When we let Tampa Bay comeback in that heartbreaking game. It wasn't just Andy Dalton didn't help by freezing up in the second half, but Andy Dalton didn't blow that lead. Defense did. Mark Ingram did. There's a lot of team. It's a team game, so it takes everyone working together to screw that one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, so they gave up a lot of come from behind wins of the Raiders, but Derek Carr also has one of the highest percentages of come from behind victories. He's been very good in those situations. So if you want to put all the late losses on him, sure, fine, whatever. But you also got to give him credit for the ones he comes back in.
Yeah, that's true.
Including against us. I was at a game where he came back and beat us with a Crabtree push-off on a 2-point game. Oh, Cooks had a 98-yard touchdown right in front of me. It was beautiful, and we lost anyway. Golly.
That's tough there, man.
It was tough. It was so hot that day. I was so drunk. Such a terrible ending.
You remember how drunk you were?
I don't remember how we got home, so yes. Didn't drive. Hey, drive safely, everybody.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious.
I still live in California.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, Greg. On 4th down, we're talking about our hopes and concerns going into training camp.
I wonder which one you're going to tee off on, the hopes or the concerns.
Now, we both expressed some pretty nice optimism on the season, right? Because we looked at the schedule and said, hey, probably 11 wins. That sounds about right. Just looking at
it does sound about right. Crazily.
So we're definitely up there with our hopes now. Do you have any other hopes going into training camp, like maybe a position group may get together, or a second-year guy, third-year guy?
So the big thing for me is the boring answer is health. I just want us to be a healthy team. Outside of that, I would really love for the D-line or the safeties to take a step forward. If Howden, is that how you pronounce it? Howden?
Yeah.
If that rookie from
Minnesota.
Yeah. If he can end up being a really good player and maybe push for a starting role or at least a contributing role, that would be awesome. So getting some young guys out there. Smoke Monday apparently was getting first team reps today.
Yeah.
Exciting. So if we can get some youth moving into the conversation at safety, that would be really exciting for me. And the D-line is just so crucial for the success of this team. If the D-line is good, this team's gonna kick a lot of ass. And if the D-line's bad, we're gonna have to win some games and shootouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm really hoping Peyton Turner will be a contributor and not
who
scratch.
In my head, I was just thinking about the D-line, and I thought about everybody except Peyton Turner. I didn't even picture him. Yeah. I didn't even pop it in my head. I was like, okay, Foskey and Granderson, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would love for the Peyton Turner report to return to BSnBEER this year and actually be positive. That's what I'm hoping for here, Craig.
Well, we won't have the Davin report anymore, so we got to have something to talk about.
Yeah, no more Davin report. So tell me about some concerns. Do you have the hope that maybe they will address a certain spot on the roster, maybe bring somebody else in, maybe make a trade or anything like that?
Whew, man, I do still want to add on the defense. Offense, I feel like if we stay healthy, we're solid. That's my personal opinion. The running back room was deep. Tight ends got some guys. Quarterback room was deep. Wide receiver, if healthy, is really solid. O-line has some pieces. I'm okay with offense. I wouldn't mind acquiring a linebacker or a defensive lineman. I think that wouldn't suck. But I don't. Again, right now I don't think you trade it for anybody. I think you roll with who you have through training camp into the preseason, and then if something gets exposed, that's when you make a move. But right now I'm worried about health. I'm worried about Carr getting with these receivers because they're taking turns being injured. There's a lot to be concerned about, but there's a lot to be excited about too. It's that weird excited scared, 98% excited, 2% scared. Or maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's 98% scared. Either way, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
For those nerds out there, that's an Armageddon quote. I want to see more, man. So we're recording this today. Today's Tuesday. We've only seen one of the mini camps. There's going to be two more
Yeah.
you get updates from. So follow us on our social medias, follow the Underhills and the Triplets, and your Locked On Saints. All those guys will have the stuff before we do. We'll just be more charming when we tell you about it. So there's going to be more to see in the next couple of days for the mini camp, and then the training camp is going to be a much bigger picture. So I got to see more, man. It's exciting, but like until I see a team session where they're hitting Michael Thomas and Kamara's on a swing route or something like that, until I see all that together, I'm still going to be worried, because last season that offense was hard to freaking watch, and I don't want to do it again. I can't do it again, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I turned games off last year. I never do that.
Yep. So for me, along those same lines of not wanting to watch horrible offense, listen, I just don't want to trust Michael Thomas actually being, healthy the entire season. So I would love to acquire a free agent and not trade for somebody. Hopkins is free right now.
We're not getting
I would love
Hopkins.
to acquire Hopkins.
We're not getting Hopkins. Not doing it. It's not happening. I promise you, it's not. And all these teams are, we're scheduling visits with the Titans and the Patriots. No one's even talking about us. We're not involved in it. It's not a thing. When's the last time that somebody like that came free and we were like, oh, hey, the Saints will go get him? Doesn't happen. We don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't visited the Titans. I mean,
and I think that would screw up our locker room too. Like, we have our number one of the future with Olave. We have Michael Thomas, who's our Pro Bowl vet guy. You bring in that guy, and it's like, okay, well, now we have a new number one guy, and you guys all suck. So, Michael Thomas, I know that you're on the 1 year deal, so you can kind of just start cleaning out your locker now. I don't think it's good for locker room. I don't think it's good for morale, and I don't think we need that right now. To put that kind of hit on our books for a position that we're already pretty good at. I don't know. I don't like it.
We've got what, $14 million in cap left. We got plenty.
Probably not enough anyway for him.
We're good. We'll figure that out, man. Trust me.
We'd have to move some more money around. He's going to want more than 14 this year.
My other position that I'm looking at is defensive line, and I know I just said I got hopes for Peyton Turner, but they're just hopes. So I want something a little bit more concrete. And so Yannick Ngakoue, I would love to see him in black and gold.
Is he a free agent still?
Yes.
Gimme.
Still a free agent. Yeah.
Sure. Whatever. Gimme.
So those are my two. That's
give him a prove it deal. We got 14 to play with. Just gimme. Go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this conversation? Mickey.
That's right. Right. Mickey's gonna get right on that, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl, correct? That's what we're gonna do.
And we're gonna do it anyway, but we'll do it also with that guy. It's an exciting time. It's hard to not have a little optimism, man. The schedule is garbage. The team looks good. Yeah. People aren't hurt yet. This is the time. If you're gonna be optimistic, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, all right, man. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us here on the Beer Run today, Craig.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We might actually do this again more often now that there's football to talk about. For Dale, my good friend, for the whole BSnBEER family, including Dave's loud ass truck. I've been the California Cajun. This has been the Beer Run. Have a beer. It's on me.
Who dat?
Remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at BSnBEER Media. Or if you're old and want to write a strongly written letter, email us bsnbeer@icloud.com.